Yolanda, you've covered some of the traditional forms of embodied movement and dance ministry. What are some of the more contemporary modern forms and trends within youth ministry?
We're beginning to see a number of trends that are drawing from some of the art forms that we see in the world, as well as in some of our theaters. And for example, miming. Miming is something that we've seen over the years, numbers of years, where people are trying to tell a story. They're trying to communicate in a way that uses their body, but not their voices. It uses their face, it uses their limbs, it uses their legs, it uses gestures, a variety of different things. So miming now, there are miming groups and ministries where young people are coming into the church to tell a story. A lot of times they're telling their story of how they were down and out, but somehow God opened the door for them to enter into a relationship with God. So miming is one way, one of the contemporary trends that we are beginning to see more of in Christian embodied worship. Hip hop. Hip hop has had a bad rap because of some of the secular forms of hip hop that we've seen out there, the words, the movements, the gestures, the violence and things of that nature. But the reality is that our kids are into hip hop music. And there are Christian hip hop rappers who are out there who have taken the beat that gives them energy and they have infused their faith. They have infused the scripture. I was looking through a devotional guide just the other day and listening to the CD that accompanied that. And the author who created this devotional guide was rapping through the book of John. And so that's another form of embodied worship where we invite the children then to begin to express that through their bodies. What might that look like if you were going to offer a dance of praise through hip hop? And contemporary gospel music, gospel rock, all of those have opportunities for dance and worship in the congregation. There are drill teams. I grew up and I became a member of an African American sorority. And for those of you who know what that means, you know that a big part of our culture was we would step. We would do a step dance. In other words, we would create a dance that was based on rhythm and sound and chanting, and sometimes it was critiquing and celebrating. And when I was in college, we would actually every Tuesday, all of the sororities and fraternities would gather and we would go out into the open forum and we would step and we would sing and we would challenge one another. Well, that has become a tradition that is now happening in the church. And it is happening in South Central, where the young people who have been surrounded by so much violence and drugs and all kinds of gang banging and things that could draw them into a very dangerous situation, they're living around that. But many of them have found dance, and they found it through hip hop, crumping, popping, and clowning. Even to the place where they're putting on the makeup, they're putting on the hair, they've got various costumes that they wear. Oftentimes they'll go into communities and celebrate a child's birthday, or they may perform, or rather celebrate in worship in a congregation. These are various contemporary trends of worship. The children in South Africa and South Central in particular have taken this form of worship as a way of expressing themselves. Anger, fear, rejection of violence, expressing their sense of self-esteem, their defiance, their determination not to get caught up in all of those things that could draw them into a world that could be dangerous for them. And it has truly become a very edgy and a very exciting and sometimes shocking expression of their selfhood and their value and their worth, and sharing that with the world.